Hey, welcome to Monday night's trading, or well, it's New York morning session. Welcome. So, over the weekend, ICT posted video 2 or 4 where he talking to himself, and he gave us some insight about determining order flow or the direction that liquidity is being sought. So according to what he has taught us or given us some instruction, I've done that for the few pairs that I usually trade, mainly the euro, the Aussie, and the pound. And let's look at the Aussie, right? So on the Aussie, you can see that actually is I call it the positive order flow, meaning it's trying to take up the liquidity on the buy side here, or do we call it sell side? So anyway, the liquidity up here, right? So let's take a look actually what we have, right? If you were to see based on his teachings, right? Well, this is just I'm testing to see how well it works. So in fact, for the Aussie, it's exactly as he has taught us. You can see here, and a buy. So this is the Europe session or London session, and this is the New York session, and we get immediately a buy there. On the same, let me just go in on a different template of the same pair. If we are trying to look for the OTE and entry for on the 5 minutes chart, actually I don't think you can find one at the moment, and sometimes, right, sometimes that happens. However, knowing that we're looking on the buy side, sometimes you can, as I've shown, sometimes instead of looking for the entry here, you look for the bigger entry on the between the London and New York session, right? So let's take a look at another pair that I have done analysis on. So same thing on the pound USD. We also see it breaking all the blue lines, meaning seeking liquidity on top. So let's take a look what happened during the day. Okay, so this one is a little bit different analysis, right? So if you were to study the charts, right, for some of these pairs, mainly I only study a few of them, euro, the pound, and the Aussie. They tend to have a certain pattern. Of course, it doesn't happen every day, but I'll talk about one of these patterns that you'll see. If on the start of the morning, right, in the Asian, this is the Asian session, you see price just slowly going up, right, and it's trying to go up to the previous day high here, and if it breaks that high and comes back down, there's a high likelihood at just before or during London session, price will then just break down, right? How far it goes, nobody knows, right? Sometimes it goes and it closes on the low of the day, or on the liquidity at the bottom, but sometimes it just reverses up. So why did I take a buy? So you see, I actually took a buy here. Why did I do that? So one is because we know that, well, we guess, so based on ICT's teaching, we know that he's trying to go up here for liquidity, and there's quite a few lines up there that it can reach for. And another pattern that you'll commonly see, I call it the prancing horse or jumping antelope, or whatever you like to call it, but I call it that is basically at the end of the first session of London, and basically between London and New York session, you'll see price do this. I call it it drops, it does a prancing horse, and then it takes off again. This happens quite often. In fact, I know they call it double top or triple top or double bottom, but I call it prancing horse because it reminds me of how a horse will do a jump, and it will be a nice jump. You see the same thing here, in fact, right? But if it wants to go up, and this is what I notice often, right? Either you will do the test of the Asian session low, it does that test, right? Or in any case, some area that has some significance, right? It will do this and then it goes up. So here you see I've taken a buy, and I've taken a buy. You don't actually see any nice OTE setup within the session itself. I just took a buy here after I saw this first jump come in, and then it went down a little bit more, and then it went up. So that's just something based on if you study, well, I call it the order flow of the day, how price normally react. So I hope you found it useful. If you did, please subscribe and like it, and hopefully I can do more videos about ICT stitching as well as some of my own chart patterns. All right, thank you very much.